Hello, everybody. I am Zachary Pringle, and this is my database application project that we had to do for CSC 582. So for my project, I decided to go and create my own database on my local system. I did this by downloading the Oracle Database 21C to my computer. So you just do a Windows download, and you can run the setup from your files from the download once you extract the information. Um, that setup will just be a prompt, and basically the most important thing in that setup is that you'll have to add a password in, and that's the password that is going to be used for your connection to the database later on. The tool I'm using is Oracle SQL Developer to do all my SQL in. So it's SQL Developer 22.2.1. I downloaded it for Windows. Once you download it, it will go into your downloads folder, and you can extract it from the zip file. Once you're there, you just open up here and you can run the application, and that will bring you into your application, which is right here. Connecting to this database is also a pretty simple feature using Oracle SQL Developer. It's another tool that I like to use to connect to these Oracle databases. It allows you to write and do all your SQL right in it. To do this, you just have to add a connection. You type in your connection here. You set it to Oracle. This is where you will add in your username or password. In this case, it's just system and my password that I used for my database, and then it'll be your local host on port 1521. Your SID is XE, and you'll just hit connect, and you'll be connected to that database that you just created on your local host. Now that I have made the connection to this database at my local system, I head over to my worksheet, and I decided to create a simple employees table for this project. I like to start off by doing a drop statement from the table, because if I ever need to restart on the table, it's just easy to run the drop table right there. Then I do my create table statement right here. It has the employee ID, the name, and the city in the table. The employee ID being the primary key, being a number, while the other two are character values up to 20 characters. Once I have the employee table built, I run the insert statements to get the data into this table, and I just did a few just to get a few employees into the employee table. So it's just an insert into employee table, and then these are the values that will get entered, and then the actual values that get put in are these right here. So I did that for 4 different employees, and then I ran my commit so that it would commit this information into the table. And to this, you just can run the full script, and it does all of the importing for you. Now that I have that table created, it's time to start doing some of my SQL statements on it for the assignment. I did this by adding another worksheet over here, and the simple statement I want to start off with is a select all statement. I'm going to use this to show also how some of these work, just to go back and see what the data looks like after one of these runs. So if we run a select all from employee table, and these are this is the output that we get. We get these 4 employees. We get Bill, Mike, Samson, and Kevin with their employee IDs and the cities that they live in. Since these are all the fields that were in the employee table, so it's selecting everything. If we want to run a transaction where both things are successful and it commits and make sure the data is there, we run something like this, where we have a begin statement and an end statement, and the information in between is what we're running at the same time. So we run an insert. We're going to run an insert statement that inserts another employee, and it's going to be employee ID 10. His name is going to be Tim, and he's going to live in Los Angeles. And we're also going to delete the first employee from the employee table. So delete from employee where employee ID equals 1, and that would be, in this case, it'll be deleting Bill. So if we run this statement, it'll successfully complete, and we run the select all statement again, and this is what now our employee table looks like. So Bill is gone, now Mike is the first one in the table, and it added Tim to the bottom with the employee ID 10. We can also make sure that this commit worked by running a rollback statement. If we run the rollback, it would go back to what the table looked like before the statement ran if the commit wasn't there. So if we run a rollback and then we run the select all again, it's the same thing after the statement runs, so we know that that commit is working. Now if we look at something like this, where it doesn't have a commit statement, and we run this transaction, it'll still say successfully completed, and it'll show that it added in this employee with employee ID 9. But if we run a rollback on this one, and then we rerun this select statement, it shows now that that employee is not there, so we didn't commit the change in this scenario. But also, if we run something like this, where we add an S onto this, and it's something that will fail out, SQL Developer just errors out in this scenario, so neither of these will end up running. So I'll show this by running this statement. You'll see the error that happens because employees is not a table, there's only an employee table. And then if we run our select all statement, it shows that even that value didn't get inserted, even though it comes before the error line, it still doesn't insert into the table. So that would be my project for the database application, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me at my email, is pringlez@umich.edu. Thank you for watching.